All right, let's bring this bad boy home with Taking a Lap, brought to you by our good buddies at Backscape, the fastest growing male grooming company on the planet. Just got even better. Engineered for back shaving, the new friction fit handle allows you to effortlessly snap the shaver in and out to touch up the rest of your body. Go to backscape.com and use promo code GYB10 for 10% off your first order on any of the kits on their website. Stay smooth, gentlemen. All right, couple things I want to get to here. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was ill today. Or has been ill, whichever one. He didn't practice today. Vander Kane came in and took a spot, Brownie. Two questions. A, how sick would you have to be to miss the Stanley Cup Game 7? And B, do you have any interest in finding a spot for Vander Kane because the coach said he'd be available, the coach being Chris Knobloch?
There's zero chance that RNH is missing this game. Zero. Like, he'd be one where you take out the cords or the tubes out of your arm at a hospital and get in a cab and get to the game. It's Game 7 Stanley Cup. Corey Perry said it right. When we were kids, it was never Game 4 of the Stanley Cup playoffs that we were playing. It was always Game 7 and a road hockey game. So RNH is playing. There's no question about that. Am I looking for a spot to put Evander Kane in? No. And it has nothing to do with Evander Kane. But the team that's playing right now has won the last 3 hockey games. They've earned the right to play Game 7. So I think RNH plays. I don't believe Evander Kane plays.
Yeah, it'd be tough to get him in there. And it's not that he doesn't deserve to be in there. He's just been injured, right? And the other group has done it. So I don't know. Holloway coming out I doubt it. McLeod, yeah, I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's Ryan. I don't think it's definitely not the third line. So you're Perry's not coming out. Like, where do you go? You can't dress an extra player, right? So I think it's going to be tough. So I'm with you. And with Nugent-Hopkins, like, there is nothing I wouldn't play through to play in this game. Like, it is like you just, and I would do anything to play in this game if I was the Nuge, and he'll be there. And he still has not quite 24 hours, but you get the idea. He has time. You'll feel better, and usually you kind of kick around. But I
heard they called. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
No, I hope there's no one else. You don't want to give to anyone else on the team. That'd be my
true.
One.
Well, the trainers will put him in a bedroom of his own in the hotel. But I heard they called the Brazilian national soccer team and got that special spray. Yeah. So all the Oilers will do the special spray before the game. They'll all be healthy for that game.
I love it. Just spray them out, all you can take, just to make it feel better, right over top of your shoe. And the next thing is, and this is something I mentioned to Mac T, and I want to get your thought. Mark Stewart was or is kind of the third assistant. So it's Knobloch, it's Coffey, it's Gullickson, and then Stewart, right? Is kind of I would classify him as the third assistant coach, and that's not to be disrespectful, but if you're charting it, that's what I see. The way that he has worked with this penalty kill, I have a hard time envisioning a situation where he is still a third assistant coach, whether it's short-term or long-term. Like, I think that he has made a loud statement to the league that, hey, I am going to be a good coach. I don't know if head coach, but at least an assistant coach with a portfolio underneath him. I know he has a penalty kill, but maybe he wants to do more. I don't know. And I'm not saying he has that happy or anything, but I think that when you win, everyone wants to poach people off your group.
Yes.
And that is a guy, to me, Brownie, that if I'm looking at it and I can get him, because again, he's a third assistant coach. I doubt the money is in line with what the first and second coaches are getting. In fact, I know it wouldn't be. That to me is a prime guy that could get cherry picked off this Oilers squad, win or lose.
Well, you look at the Oilers specialty teams. I think Gullickson runs the power play, and great power play, but they got Connor and Leon and Nuge and Bouchard. So, he's got a lot of incredible talent to play with. I don't care who. My mom could run the power play for the Oilers. She could be the coach, and they still have a successful thing. Now, Gullickson does great things with it, but he's got a lot to work with. On the back, and this was a terrible penalty killing unit, has been for a number of years. To me, the biggest reason that the Oilers are in the Stanley Cup Finals has been the play of their penalty kill.
Yeah.
Connor's always great. Leon's always great. Their power play always scores. Bouchard, all these things have always been there for the Oilers. But their penalty killing, it's game changing. And 2 of the games that got shorthanded goals in, those are killers for the opposition. So what the job he's done with the penalty killing unit has been maybe not as good a coaching job as Knobloch has done, because that's pretty special, but it ranks right up there, because he's changed this Oiler penalty killing unit to how he wants it to be done. and the success they're having has allowed them to play in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
This is what I'm going to say right here. I think that what we might see happen is Stewart move into Coffey's role, and I'm not sure where Coffey goes. Maybe back up to wherever he was. Because honestly, man, if I was another team and I'm looking for an assistant coach that can run the D and the penalty kill, I'm staring at that guy. That's the guy that I'm poaching, and I think you could get him because he's a third assistant coach here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that teams let him move up. So
that's a good point.
I'm not looking to create controversy here. I'm just telling you, Oilers fans, people poach from good teams, right? That's what they do. The teams have won. So.
Yeah, you heard it right here on Got Your Back. Jason Strudwick said Paul Coffey is gone.
Yeah. No. I got to be careful, but I think that you got to look at it. You got to think. We got to think about that. And we're literally 2 days away from the end of the season. Okay, if you're on the YouTube stream, get on and hit the thumbs up button, the like button. Tell us how you feel about it. Giving the like button would be great. If you're tuning in and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button right beside it, right below Brownie. So thumbs up button and subscribe button right beside it would be great. Okay, let's move on now to hear what you want to talk about. What's important to you, our listeners, and we love all the engagement tonight. Great numbers, and we love sharing this with you. It's been a great ride. Ask Us Anything brought to you by the Shark of the Park, Renee Bouclé of Maxwell Devonshire Realty. She's loving this run. Renee is all about amazing service for a client. Buying a house is a big deal. You need someone you can trust and who you know is working 24/7 to either sell your home or to help you find a new one. Call Renee at 780-994-0280. Get in here, Zoobs. What do you got for us, you old dog?
Oh, where am I? Here I am. Just my audio's here. We're having that same issue with the YouTube thing. Happened just at the same exact time yesterday. It's YouTube only. If people can still hear us, what you can do on YouTube is just manually skip back like 30 seconds, and it's good. It's I don't know, like a bottleneck at the point of. But it's fine on X, and that works here. And otherwise, you could just watch it when we're finished up here in 10 minutes. Okay, I wanted to actually go in on the poll question first, if that's cool, because we had so many great contributions. So the poll question tonight, Brownie, I don't think you're on here yet. The poll question tonight, I asked people on the stream, what's going to be your Game 7 superstition? What have you been doing? What's been working for you? What have you done all year or just in the last 3 games? And we had some great answers, some along the lines you might expect, but I'm going to throw a few of them out here really quick. Paul Wood said, my superstition is to eat the same food and snacks from the last win. I've been eating steak and KD for the last 3 games, and I will again tomorrow, so that's a pretty good one. Brian Jackson said, I wear my lucky boxers and grow my playoff beard. Quaddy says, this is a good one. We know Quaddy is in Bali. He says, I always crack my first beer when the second period puck is dropped. Oh, and by the way, it's 9 a.m. in Bali when he's doing that. Zulu said I had to take my Ryan Smith jersey out of its case after Game 3 and wear it, and I also had to quit gambling on the Oilers. That's worked so far. Penner's Pancakes has a good one. He says, my routine's been to walk to the golf club house, have 2 tall Caesars and a perfectly cooked chicken burger as my pregame meal. Let me get to, there were a couple others. Charlie Dufault said, we'll be glad to finally take a shower after this series. Along the same lines, Dean McCullough said, I haven't changed my underwear since June 15th. There's another good one too. Smitty the Welder says, I shaved my beard of a few years after Game 3. Let's go, Oil. So we thank lots of these people for their service. 2 more I want to get to. Sherry Frazee, a friend of the stream, says, I wear my blue McDavid jersey and homemade Let's Go Oilers and Play La Bamba Baby bracelets. Or when I was working all blue scrubs with my bracelets. Let's go. And this last one from Ginny Sabunia, who's my mom, says, husband wearing his Ryan Smith jersey for the last 3 games. So that's my dad. By the way, I didn't even know my dad had a Ryan Smith jersey. So that's pretty cool. But my brother's a big jersey head, so I'm sure that's where it came from. All right, let's get to some questions here. A quick thought on this. I brought this up a couple of days ago. Shane Matheson brought it up again. He says, Game 7 Ceci. Now, Cody Ceci has goals in the two recent. He had a goal in the Game 7 against LA. He had a goal from a couple, a year or 2 years ago. And he had a Game 7 goal against Vancouver this year. You want a handicap? How about something to play, a bet to play or something with long odds? How about a goal from Cody Ceci? What do you think that would do for the team in Game 7 again?
Well, if you're getting a goal from Cody Ceci, that's a source you don't normally get from. That helps. I mean, that's something, an unknown or an uncommon goal scorer, find him early, Struts. You see CC open, you get him the puck. The kid is, I mean, he's magic in game sevens. To me, one of the big reasons the Oilers are in game seven, game six, the Florida Panthers shut down Connor and Leon to the point of 1 point. They had 1 point, the two superstars in a game, and the Florida Panthers couldn't win that hockey game. The Oilers are getting contributions from other players in the lineup, and that's what they'll need in game seven as well. And if they get players scoring that aren't named Leon or Connor, that goes a long ways for them winning a Stanley Cup.
Okay, Nuckbo says Florida is backed into a corner for the first time these playoffs, and I expect it's going to be a wildly different team they face tomorrow. Davin pointing out also Florida's going to play desperate, or going to have to play desperate, for the first time in the playoffs. How different of a team does that, or can that make them, Struddy?
Yeah, I made the point in a previous podcast. They're also learning, right, what it's like to play in this situation. They're growing, and they're going to be a dangerous team. Like, tomorrow's going to be a really hard game to win. I thought game 6 was going to be the hard one. This one will be even harder, right? It's just they're figuring it out on the fly. So, Oilers fans, this is not going to be a cakewalk, or we do not expect a cakewalk. But I believe scoring your first for the Oilers is mighty important in this game tomorrow.
Brian Jackson says, just a statement, there is no way Connor and Leon will let this team lose tomorrow. I mean, we've talked, we had the other players talking about Connor. Is there a part of you that feels like there's that Connor, if he has to, he's shown that he can do it, will take it on his back tomorrow if he has to be a one-man team to drag them across the finish line? Brownie, do you get that feeling at all?
Well, I don't think he needs to be a one-man team, because I do believe the whole team will show up. But players that are great for a reason. They come through in the biggest moments. I mean, you think of all in football, Mahomes, how great he is in Super Bowls. Michael Jordan, when he was with the Bulls. I mean, all the great players. Reggie Jackson was always Mr. October, because every year in the playoffs he hit home runs. That's why they become great. Sidney Crosby, the world's best player at the time, scores the golden goal for Canada. So I believe that Connor McDavid is going to have a fantastic game 7. It might not just show up on the score sheet, but I believe he will be his most dangerous self. It might be his best game in the playoffs tomorrow night. And yeah, that's one of those things that when Stridey and I were doing things what the others need to do, that to me would be an expectation that Connor's going to be great, because it's a big moment.
Obelisk says, does the Oilers power play make its presence felt? History indicates maybe one call each way in game 7 based on the last several years. So in all likelihood, power plays are going to be at a premium. Do you think the Oilers power play cashes in or makes a big impact tomorrow night, Struddy?
If I was listing the top 5 things that'll make an impact, I don't think I'd put their power play in there, because I think you're right. Opportunity might not be there. Too many, you get one, or you're going to go 1 for 1. I guess it's possible. I think this is going to be more of a 5-on-5 game, Brownie. Heading into to a tighter game. The refs probably aren't going to call those borderline ones, or even slightly over borderline.
I agree. I think it's got to be an earned penalty. I mean, it's something there's a chance of injury, or it's a goal scoring chance being taken away.
Yeah.
I don't think the referees want some iffy 50-50 call to be the one that decides which team wins the Stanley Cup. So I agree with you. I do believe the Oilers' power play will have an impact, but they need to get on the power play to do that. But if the Oilers get 3 power play chances in the game, I believe they will score a goal on their power play.
Okay, let's get. I got one more here, and then a couple of comments I want to throw out. Davin says, I think Paul Maurice and his players have been lying to themselves. That's all he said. That's just a statement. What do you think about do you think his message? I'm sure I get the feeling from Paul Maurice, the message in the room is a heck of a lot different message than he's putting out to the media. But what do you think about the way he's been handling the media in this series, and just kind of like, what's his message in the room? How is it different, and how does it need to change? What's he telling them for game 7?
Go ahead, Streds.
Yeah, what you're saying in public is always what you say behind closed doors. I think that right now, Paul Maurice, the biggest issue he has is to get his team to believe they can win game 7. Mm-hmm. And not because I don't think that they're good enough or they don't have the talent, but they're shell shocked and they're reeling. I really feel that we can talk about the arrogance of Tkachuk or the length of career of Sergei Bobrovsky, but they've just lost 3 in a row and they've lost it 18-5. So even take away the empty netters, it's like 14, 15-5. They have been destroyed in the Stanley Cup playoffs in 3 games, which they were up 3 games to none. So I think getting them to believe and creating energy is the 2 challenges he has. So, it sounded like in practice today he was barking at him and kind of swearing and all that stuff. Maybe he's trying to shock him out of it. But I would be hugging them and telling them how good they are, showing them videos of what they're doing and how they've done so well. Like anything to get them to believe how good they are so they can walk on that ice and say, we are good and we can do it.
Okay, a couple quick comments here, and then I got one short one I'm going to throw at you guys. Sila Costa said, I've been following your podcast since early this season, from Settlers of Catan to tomato soup without water or milk. This podcast has been amazing. Thank you for everything you did this season. Bobo Fett said, huge thanks to the Got Your Back team for incredible, smart analysis and discussion through this playoff run. No one even close with the NHL experience and credibility you guys deliver. Thank you. So thank you, of course, to all of the viewers. It's been amazing. It's not done yet. We've got tomorrow night. We're going to cover, I'm sure there's going to be a fair bit in the days that follow, regardless of the outcome, heading into the draft and free agency and all that stuff. But big thank you to all of our listeners and viewers on all the platforms. Okay, here's the last one. This is from me. I just want to know, if you're the coach tomorrow of either team, you're down 1 goal in the 3rd period, what time left on the clock are you trying to pull your goalie?
Well, it depends where a face-off is. It depends who's fresh for your group. If with 2 minutes and 40 seconds and it's Connor and Leon's turn on the ice and you have a face-off in the offensive zone, you think about it. This is for the Stanley Cup. It's like that's your ace in the hole. You don't want to have an ace left over and all of a sudden you don't get that chance. What if you don't pull your goalie then? What if you don't get another face-off in the offensive zone? So to me, it's all situational. And nothing is off the board when it comes to when you pull the goalie.
You nailed it, but I can't do anything better than that.
What's your ballpark in your mind? 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 90 seconds?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
When I have complete control of the puck and I get my big guys out there, I'm pulling them. That's just like Brownie. Like that's kind of the way it is. So let's say that they ice it with whatever 2:45 left or whatever, it's 2 minutes, and I can put on my big guys. I'm pulling the goalie. Bang! Just like I don't even hesitate. Out the door they go.
100%. You got to remember too. What if Florida has a third line out there, had been out there for 40 seconds, they ice the puck with 2:45 to go in the period. I'm doing it then.
Yeah.
Get my best players out there against the entire group. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Don't call it. Get out there, line up. We're dropping that puck in 10 seconds and get them out there. And then if there's a stoppage, then you call the timeout. But otherwise, you're trying to catch them with their pants down.
Okay.
All right, boys. That was great. Let's get to our gem of the day, brought to you by Play Alberta. Get ready, Oilers fans, during the finals, and this is the end of it. Make it a positive with your promo code GYB50 to snag a 50 free sports bet with your next deposit. Get ready for unbeatable promotions throughout the finals with 10+ odds boosts on every Oilers playoff game. Score a chance to win amazing prizes like season seats for 2024-2025 or 5 pairs of seats to 5 separate Oilers games for next year, just by making a bet on an Oilers playoff game at playalberta.ca. Bonus terms and conditions apply. I'm going to steal this from Greg McTavish, and I'm going to paraphrase. He said when he looks back at that last one in 2006, 2007, he goes, I'm more upset now than 2005, 2006. I'm more upset now about it than when even the night it happened, because I wasn't able to get a championship for Pisani, for Ryan Smith, for Hemsky, for Steve Stales, all those guys. And it's such, I love hearing him say that. I know it's got to hurt him because he has one, right? But to hear him say that, and you want to do it together. So this is the last game this group will play together ever. It'll be different next year. It's going to change up. But if you win, you're always together. You're a champion forever together. So I think that, that's a message that can be dropped into the soup tomorrow before the game, Brownie, from our buddy Nobby.
100%. Oilers in 7. You heard it here first. Got your back.
Nailed it. All right, boys. Thanks for this. We'll be back tomorrow night post-game. Win or lose, wear your lucky stuff. Have fun and enjoy this, guys and girls. It's been a great run. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow after the game.